Hey internet, it's me, Justin. Here back with FAQ Friday, episode 74, and I'm in this room. This is where we keep our 3D printers, and we 3D print, what do we do? Well, a bunch of stuff I can't talk about, and then, you know, like little containers for SD cards, which I have mine today. Printed a mouse droid from Star Wars, you know, those guys. Printed one of those, pretty cool. And, you know, hopefully this thing will stay at attention, and we'll get through it. It'll be fine. Oh, NAMM just happened. The non-F-hold Starcaster that Fender released, its body has a striking resemblance to the EVH Wolfgang bodies, which I never realized until it didn't have a hole in it. Those are cool. Is that 66 bass thing? Is that thing new? I don't know. Gibson's gonna kind of go into the collaboration, and then as far as guitars, they're gonna do like the Heritage series and then just stuff we want to try. So it looks like they're taking a page out of Fender's book and just like, well, I guess Fender aren't the only ones who are doing that. They're the biggest, most active one. I mean, whiskey does that all the time. Like Jameson, they own, they also distill Powers, Redbreast, Green Spot, I think, and maybe a couple others. But then they have their like side brand that's called like Wizards and Warlocks. I don't know. It's called like Mistakes and Explosions. I don't remember what it's called, but they have another brand that's the one that they just try a bunch of weird stuff, so then that way it doesn't taint the Jameson name. I think that's kind of what like Fender's doing with like the parallel universe stuff. They're like, this is clearly just some weird stuff that we want to try. So maybe Gibson will come out with like a, I don't know. Anyway, on to your first question. This first one is from Mark Woods. Which set of saddles would you recommend as a replacement for a PV T60 with 2.125 string spacing? Could I get by using the Tele/Strat style ones with the 2.179 E to E spacing? So for that, you'll want to go for the PS 8000-00, the narrower ones. Even though they are slightly narrow, the difference between what those ones are and what the measurement that you quoted is, I think, like 0.0, maybe even another 0. So that less than 0.1 of a difference in string spread, that's going to be spread between all 6 strings, so it's likely not even something you'd be able to see. So yeah, go with the PS 8000-00 saddles for your PV, T60 or 50. Actually, I think the 50s. Is it the 50s or the 30s? A guitar player in a band that I play in, he plays the I think the T30 or the T60, I think it is. The bridge on it's really weird. It's like an ashtray bridge, but then it's just got like this metal, it looks like an acoustic saddle almost. It's just immovable. It's just a metal bar that it sits on, and it's got all the different intonation points. And it actually kind of looks like a sound wave. Now that I think about it, it's pretty cool. But if it's garbage, then you're hooped, because that's it. That's the only thing that looks like that. Okay, next question. This one's from Lee Watco. Would like a Tusk nut for Squire Affinity. Tried the XL, but the strings don't line up. The XL doesn't mean extra large. It means extra lubrication. So the Tusk, White Tusk XL, and Black Tusk XL, they all come in different sizes. So the number that you see, like PQL 5000 or 5010, that's the model number. And then the letters behind it is what material it's run in. So whatever model number you got, it was probably just the wrong one. So for an Affinity, you'll probably want to go for the PQL 5000-00 for the nut. If you need a narrower one, which we do make a black one that'll fit on that, that's the 5040, but it's not on our website right now because, you know, we can't get them all up on there. It's a lot. And yeah, so if you need that one, and if I haven't confused you already, then, you know, shoot me an email at justin@graphtech.com and we can get you sorted. Why did you sign me out? I was literally just signed in using your website. This next one's from David Scott. I want to replace the nut on my Tele-style guitar. However, it has a 12-inch radius neck. Do you make a pre-cut Tusk XL nuts that would fit it? I see you have a Fender-style nut with a flat bottom, the 5010, but would the radius of the slots be correct? Thanks, David. No, the 5010 is kind of just a regular flat bottom standard Fender style, so it's a 9.5 inch radius. We have 2 Fender style 12-inch radius nuts. Those are the 5042 and the 5043. They are in black on our website, or just regular version white Tusk, not the lubricated one. If you want the lubricated one, which I see, why wouldn't you? It only benefits you. Then yeah, also shoot me an email at justin@graphtech.com. Then we can, you know, we can do the thing and then do goods, services for monetary things. You get a nut. Exchange emails, 1 or 2, and then you get it shipped. This next one is from John Menton. Yeah. Stock bridge pins on my D28 stick out way above the saddle and they interfere with my type of strumming. Is there a pin available that has a very low profile above the bridge? I would prefer the pins to be just barely above the strings rather than the 2 millimeters that the stock pins extend above the string level. They are about a 1/4 inch above the bridge, pin collar to top of pin. Yes, maybe, I don't know. So there's like no standard for bridge pins in the industry, which is awesome, but we do make 2 different styles, and any of the traditional style pins will fit into a Martin. The presentation ones will be too small and then they'll pop up when you go to string it up or if you put tension on it. Anyway, Martin buys these from us for a bunch of their models. You might have, if you know what, here, try this. Take one of the pins and drop it on a hard surface. If it sounds like glass, then you're using one of our pins. And if they're too big, then you can just twist them in some sandpaper just to, you know, take the material down a little bit, and then they will fit more snugly in there and lower. And if they're just plastic, I'm sure you can identify what plastic sounds like if you drop it. Bad, by the way. Then yeah, you can get any of our traditional style pins. They'll fit in there, and again, if they do stick up a little too much, we make our tusk material, you know, it's super resonant and full of bells, harmonics, lows and mids, all the bits that you want. But we also made it so that it's really easy to work with. So you can just twist it in some sandpaper just to take a little material down and make that fit a lot better. This next one's from Jew Carmichael. I have a 1989 Epiphone Sheridan 2 and would like to know if you have a roller bridge and a nut that would fit it. And if you do, how much they might cost. Thank you. Yeah, so for the Sheridans, they're pretty straightforward. So for the nut, you'll want to go for the PQL 6061. And then for the bridge, I can't see any Sheridans that aren't gold, so I'm going to assume that you want gold. The PS 8863-G0 for gold. That's not a roller bridge per se, as in it doesn't have little wheels that the strings sit on, but the saddles that are in there are the same material as the nut. They are our tusk material, so super resonant, just a better material than, you know, whatever. It's the best material on earth. Fight me, internet. It is impregnated with Teflon or PTFE, so it's permanently lubricated and the strings won't bind in the nut or saddle, so then you can do the wobblies and the wibblies. Roller saddles are good. They work functionally better than a standard Tune-O-Matic with just regular saddles in it. Sometimes they, you know, get caught up and eventually mechanically fail, or they don't have enough lubricants, so then they kind of go. Problem with them is they rattle a lot of the time because it is a moving part. There is less contact, direct contact from the string to the roller bit to the bridge to the whatever, so there's less vibration transfer, so get less sustain. But anyway, get those things. Your Sheridan will never go out of tune. Disclaimer: you gotta make sure it's set up and your strings don't suck and you can know how to tune and the neck isn't warped. Anyway, under normal circumstances and it's properly set up and blah blah blah. I don't know why I'm still talking. Okay, next question. This next one is from George Sanchez. Hi, I have an ESP Viper standard, ESP, not LTD, who I'm not too much happy with the nut that it comes from factory. Thing is, I play in D standard tuning with 11 to 52 string gauge. Please can you recommend to me any bone nut from your catalog that fits the ESP Viper and at the same time have the nut accommodate for this string's gauge. Also, I want to know if this model of saddles works with the Godot bridge and also fits with the 1152 gauge, the PS 8560s. And then a link to the page. Thanks and best regards. So for your Viper that ESP makes, not LTD, got it. You'll want to go for the PT 6642. And as far as those string saver saddles, I don't know. But if you look on the underside of the bridge, there will be a factory stamp and it might say Godot Japan or Godot other things. Go to the string saver saddle section on our website or link in the description, and then we've got a table, and then you can match them with the correlating part number to the factory stamp that will be under there. If you don't see a thing there, shoot me an email with what it says and we might have a fix, but other than that, then you might just have to upgrade the bridge. Oh darn, you might get a better bridge. Anyway, yeah, those are all the things I know. This next one is from Marcel Kaimer. Hi, I'm looking for non-conductive saddles for my Fender Stratocaster to use with a new MIDI system. Best would be ceramic saddles, but I found yours on the web and I'm curious about the conductivity of Tusk, Strat, and Tele saddles. Can you give me information on that topic? And also, which ones will fit a USA standard Strat? Thank you. All of the Strat Saver? All of the string saver saddles and the Tusk saddles that we make for Strat and Tele and all that fun stuff are non-conductive, except for the ones that explicitly say they are electronically conductive. So the PS 8000 OEs. Those are the only ones we make that are conductive. Everything else is not. and that's because you generally ground it through the bridge plates, because the strings are already going through and touching the sustain block, so all you have to do is ground the bridge plate, and you don't have to have the saddles deal with any of that stuff. So yeah, any of our 8000-00 saddles will be the ones that you want on your bridge, on your Strats. If you're trying a new MIDI thing though, I mean, we make like the best MIDI thing ever, so go with the PN 8000 and then get a hex bander. But that's a whole nother can of worms. You'll get this one, you'll find its shortcomings, and you'll be like, man, I wish it tracked better, or sounded better, or stopped breaking strings so much, because these saddles are garbage. And then you'll come back and you'll be like, hold on, I have had the entire internet tell me the folly of my choice, not asking you what the greatest MIDI thing is. Do you like my sales pitch? It's good, right? Yeah. This next one is from Sean Nixon. I own an ESP LTD Warbird WA 600 guitar with a 43mm nut, and was wondering which saddles would be a drop-in fit. Thank you. So, since it's got a 43mm nut, you'll want to go for the PT 6643. And for the saddles, again, link in the description, look on the bottom, read what it says, match it with the list, then buy those saddles. Or just upgrade the entire bridge, because ours are awesome. And for ESP LTD, they should all be 6mm, unless they do a weird thing. You just look at the post that it sits on, and if it's this big, then go with 4. If it's this big, it goes 6. This next one's from Ian McCleary. Couple questions, if I may, please. I'm looking to change the nut on a 2018 PRS SE Santana Standard. Was doing a little research when I came across a number of forum posts where a number of people were claiming that the Tusk XL isn't as good as the Black Tusk XL. Is that a fair statement, or are they as good as one another? The nut on my guitar is a ivory/white, and that's the look I prefer to keep. I took a look on your sizing guide and wondered where you take the measurements from. I ask as length is straightforward, but the height of my nut is lower at one end than the other, and it's thicker at the base than it is at the top. Any advice would be most welcome, particularly which codes you think would be suitable. Regards, Ian McCleary. No. They're the exact same. Those people on the forums don't know what they're talking about. Maybe they're getting confused with the White Tusk versus the Black Tusk XL. And the White Tusk doesn't have Teflon in it, so it's not permanently lubricated. So yeah, maybe they're just getting confused with those two. Black Tusk XL and the White Tusk XL are virtually identical, except somebody took the brightness or contrast slider and just went bloop. So we do make a black one, the PT 6643, and that'll be a drop-in replacement. And we do also make a White Tusk XL version of it. Again, XL doesn't mean extra large, just means extra lubrication. Or extreme lubrication if you're from the early 2000s. If you want the white one, which you said you do, we don't have that listed on our site, but we can... And since you said you wanted the White Tusk XL version, since it's on our site, I'll send you a little form to fill out, and then we'll grab your shipping info and do a special order for it, but we do have it available. All right, that's it. So thanks for watching episode 74 of FAQ Friday. If you liked it, hit the like button. If you didn't like it, you know, and there's a subscribe button, because I know a bunch of you aren't subscribed, so just do it. It only benefits us. There's no downside. Come on. And we got playlists up there, and yeah, you know the drill. See you next week. Party hard.